All right, Homesteader family, welcome back to the journey. Thank you for being part of the journey, and don't forget to share the journey. I almost did not make it in time for video. I just had to go pick up feed, some extra protein tubs for the animals, so that way while I'm back in Colorado, the animals have something to eat. Now, I have had a lot of people ask, who's watching the animals? Nobody's watching the animals at either place. I mean, I've got people that check on the animals, but I leave extra feed and they're all set and everything else while I'm gone for the time I'm gone. That's why I'm not gone that long. So the big news is the animals are out there. Now we all know the goats come out, but the cow, the horse, everything. So this is now the bird sanctuary, which it was the original small triangle pen here. And that is the emus, the guineas, the chickens, the turkeys, and then the ducks and geese when I get them brought out. Now, I got the other pen done. I still got a lot of wire tying to do. I'm going to work on that when I get done. For those of you wondering how I got the animals in, I laid out the panels that I had and then blocked the road off with a bunch of stuff, ran the animals down and in the new gate. So all the animals are over here in their new big pen, which gives them a lot more space. I'm really happy about that because they were in such a small area. Right, Stubbs? And there goes sexy Stubbs right there with his striped legs. And of course, the movie star, Miracle, giving kisses. And everybody wants to eat. But I got water hauled up today, so they have water. I still have all this stuff that I got to get out the pen as well, so I'll do that when I come back. But you can see the fence back there. They have this nice big area all the way up now to space out. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a risk. I am going to leave, I'm going to shut the goats outside of the gate up there so they can't get up by Mickey Mouse, since Mickey has killed goats years ago in the past. I'm going to leave them in this area so that way they can get in here in the woods, come around here, get in the woods. So hopefully between the time I leave and the time I come back, they can chomp down a bunch of the woods. That will give me time to go ahead and get fencing in when I come back, where they've been clearing the woods, and fingers crossed nothing goes wrong. Now I know that's a bit sketchy, but it's something I've got to try. Now the goats, yes, they were inside fencing at the ranch in Colorado, but that was 50 acres. They could be on the back side, and the dogs always were on the front side. So nothing happened, knock on wood, to any of the animals lost to predators once I got Anatolian Shepherds. So I'll run Mickey and Minnie through the woods here and Chunk, so that way their scent is strong. And then, like I said, knock on wood, nothing happens while I'm gone. Hey, Sandra, good to see you too. Keep missing me by 5 minutes. Well, now you finally caught me. So I went ahead, I put water in these protein tubs. After they eat the stuff, then I had the empty bucket. So I went ahead, I filled up a bunch outside here. There's more up there. I'm going to fill up with the side-by-side as soon as I get done making the video. I also have more fencing to finish. And that way everybody has plenty of water. Then the protein tubs in back the pickup truck. I also have down here on the tractor, I have a bale of hay that I need to bring up after I get done doing all the waters. And this bale of hay down here is what I just got last week, and I'll put that in. So not only do the animals have a bunch of protein tubs and salt blocks and mineral blocks and all the vegetation in that pen, but they also have this big round of hay that's going to be going in there as well. So that's why I don't need somebody to take care of animals at either place, because I do the same thing in Colorado. They have salt blocks, mineral blocks, protein tubs, hay, and everything else. So for those of you worried about that, now your mind can be at ease, because As everybody knows, I starve my animals. I don't spend any money on food, but that's why they're all fat and chunky. So the only thing I did not get accomplished was I did not stretch this piece. That's why I put this big chest here and the generator for now. I'm going to try to get this stretched tonight. And then I went ahead, I wire tied these posts down. Where you see the bags out there, I've got to finish wire tying, and the 6-foot fence, I have to do that, as well as every other post here was not wire tied, so I have to do all this. So before I leave in the morning, my goal is to do as much as I can, try to get like the diesel cans out, that tote out, the furniture out, whatever I can get out of there to give them more space. Along with, while I'm doing that, I'll be emptying water into all these blue protein tubs that are empty, so they don't have just these water, which is 220 gallons between the two, but then they have all these blue ones as well. So things are coming along, things are progressing, and like I said, hopefully the goats will finish clearing all this area out. I'll go off of the post where this gate is and the post in the back. I'll run fencing down almost flush with this, so this will be a whole nother pen right here, and I'm hoping to have that done before the camels and horses get here, so that way I can throw the camels on this side by themselves, and then the horses will be in here with the Zorse and the donkey, since they all love living together. Now the camels every once in a while chase the horses, so I don't want the headache of that right now in these small pens. So later on, once I get moved here and I run fencing down the road and down, because like I said, this is a big ditch down here, which I'm going to try to see if I can show you the difference, because everybody keeps telling me they can't see the difference on my phone with the depth. So I'm going to grab one of these boards right here and put it up here at the fence, and then I'm going to go down the mountainside and try to show the difference, because it drops dramatically. Or actually, I might just throw this down the mountainside, and then I can go pick this up later. But that goes way down. So I don't know how good the phone shows, but it just goes down, and down. And if I turn around, you can see as I go down, I'm farther away from the fence. So that's looking up at baby, and this is level. So I mean, it's just a big drop going all the way down. So because there's such a big drop going all the way down, then I'm going to turn this into one giant pen. I'm going to have to, when I come back out my next trip, I'm going to have to hike this whole drop and find out exactly how deep it is, how far it goes. I'll have to get the measuring wheel, go from the corner here, measure along the road, find out how far it goes. And if I have enough fencing, then do this. If I don't have enough fencing, I've got to wait until the ranch sells or I get approved for the loan that I applied for last week in order to afford more fencing, because I don't have the available funds right now to do that. You see, like these guys, they just go over all day, chomp. And that's what I'm hoping for. While I'm gone, I'm hoping they clear a lot of this. That will help me see everything. And here we go. This is a good way to tell how far down it goes. Come on, goats! As I get stuck with stickers. Come on, goats! So you can see Jackson is not taller than me, but because of the big drop, you can see the difference. Goats! Come on, goats! So that gives a little bit of perspective. My hand, you know, up in the air, that goes to show just how high up they are. Um, and it just goes farther and farther down. So like I said, the phone, I don't know why can't show depth, but it goes down, 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 so on and so forth. And there you go. There's the tractor up there. So you can see the ground, and then it goes all the way up to the tractor as well. So this is the life. How many acres? It is 116.5 acres flat. If they laid out the acreage, because the top of the property, the mountain where I'm going to build the house, is 1,200 feet, and the lowest part is, I think, 900 feet. It's like a 250 to 300 foot drop between the highest part to the lowest point of the property. So, and that's another thing I have to do. Yes, all surrounding land is also private. My neighbor, who I can walk over here to the road, I share a road over here. Two of my neighbors live down this road. My property line goes along the road, but there's a 25-foot easement from the center line of the road into my property on this one side. And then the front side, which is the county road, there's an easement there as well, but I don't want to put a fence anywhere close to the road. I want several hundred feet of vegetation so nobody can see from the main road in. But so my gate is up front, up the road there, and this is my neighbor's road. Well, my property runs to the center line of the road, and then of course the fence is 25 foot from the center of the road. As you can see, it's farther back. So now my property goes way down this road, about half a mile, and the road curves, goes back, and then at their gate, my property jags over and then continues all the way back to a dry creek bed and railroad tracks and everything, and it goes all the way back along their property. Now, my neighbor owns all this, which is 97 acres, all the way to the back of my property. And then over here, there's another neighbor that owns a piece of land back in there. I'm not sure how many acres he owns. So it's a lot of stuff I gotta do. No surface water on my property. Now, my neighbor here, Katrina, she's got water. My other neighbor, they have water, and that's where I'm hauling water from, is from my neighbor's creeks and springs, because they have all the water and I don't have water. So my goal is, once the ranch sells, or I get approved for this loan, or if somebody decides to donate $250,000 to me or something like that, big dreams, then I'm going to rent a backhoe and a bulldozer. And like I said, this area going way down the hillside, there's different spots on this property that I want to do big ponds. So like in these pens, I want to dig out a big deep hole, get down to the clay layer, and have ponds put in. I'll do the ponds with the equipment that I rent, and haul water from the creek and spring, fill the ponds up, and then after that, rainwater should keep it filled, because everybody out here has ponds everywhere. They say you dig a hole, there's a 50-50 shot that it's going to be successful, because it's either going to be loose gravel or it's going to be the red clay. And if you hit the red clay, water holds and never goes anywhere. So that is my goal in the future. Along with what I've thought about now is the shed is up there, that big white spot. I'm thinking about having a well drilled up there, and if I get one of the windmills that ranchers have for cattle, then what I want to do is come down here where this natural ditch is, going all the way down along the road. I want to dig this nice and deep And then what I want to do is stair step it. So I want to dig in, dig down a foot, 2 feet, then come out 5, 6 feet, dig in another stair, so on and so forth. And with the windmill pumping the water, then it will fill all of these sitting ponds all the way down the road continuously as the wind blows and everything else. And then what I can always do is I can trench across to these different pens, run 12-inch piping underneath to a pond that I dig out, so that water can always come over, feed all the ponds, and keep everything filled. So my goal in the future is to be where I'm not hauling water. This is the first time I've had to haul water in a long time, and it is not fun. I mean, I've got the right equipment. I've got the 4-inch dredge pump and all that down in the creek bed, so it fills the tank in like 2 minutes. It's 2,000 gallons per minute, and then I just come up here and let it gravity feed through the hose into the container. So, and here's another thing that you can see, the gates. It's on the ground there. It's about 18, maybe 20 inches right there off the ground. That is how unlevel the ground is. And like I said, it's just a slope going all the way down. Hard to see, but that's all I can really show in order to convey what the property's like. I like it. It doesn't have to be flat to me. I've always lived on mountainsides, so it's nothing new. Let me see. Scott, you said I should build a pond. Yep. Not one pond. I'm going to have a whole bunch of ponds. And then the very end of my road, for those of you that have watched the ride-alongs, down where I put the T-post and dug the trench where people are coming into my property. And then the other video that I showed where I dug where I thought there was a spring, or neighbor thought there was a spring, and it was all that loose gravel. When I had the money to get a backhoe, I'm going to dig my lower property and go, a couple 100 feet long, probably 50, 60 foot wide on the side of the road, and go pretty deep. And all this water that runs down this road and goes down to that lower part of the property, then all this land is just going to keep adding water to it, and eventually have a huge pond on the property that will be more like a lake, because I've got a bunch of dry creek beds that I can go ahead and just flatten those creek beds out with all the dirt, and that stops the erosion, and in the process gives me a big lake / pond that I'll have my own water on the property eventually. So that's it for this episode, unless anybody else has questions or comments. Hey, Carol, everything's going good. Cleo's doing good. Still got a bunch of animals at the ranch. I still have the camels at the ranch. I've got dogs at the ranch. I've got horses at the ranch. The kangaroo, Mama Silverton, the zebu cattle female that I chased her all around the mountain when I was back my last trip. Could not get her to go up front so I could pen her to get her in the trailer. I have all the ducks and geese at the ranch. I have all the pigs at the ranch, and peacocks still at the ranch. So I still have a lot of animals to haul out. As for baby, Cleo did not sack up. She should have sacked up by October 2nd. And of course, that's way past due. So it does not look like she was pregnant like the guy believed she was, and I thought she was. She put her tail up all the time, which is a sign that she's bred. Apparently not. So hopefully, now that I have Caesar, Caesar's been with her. So eventually, fingers crossed, at some point I'll see her with the big udders and know that she's having babies. Or having a baby, I should say, because camels only have one baby. So unfortunately, it doesn't look like I'm going to have a baby this year. It was like 3 or 4 months after I got her, I got Caesar. So October, November, December, January, February. So I believe February would be the earliest, I want to say. I'm not sure exactly how it plays out. Camels carry 14 to 15 months, and I'm not sure exactly if she got pregnant by excuse me, if she got pregnant by Caesar or not. So we will see. I did not do any more work on the shed here. I'll be doing that when I come back. I've got to go back to Colorado, so I'll be headed back to Colorado in the next couple days, and just go from there. So a lot of stuff getting done, and like I said, this is the best thing of all. The animals are out of this small tiny pen. Gives me great happiness, and knowing that they're in that bigger pen, and all the leaves are starting to fall, and I got 4 seasons again, where Colorado is normally just hot and cold. So I'm really excited about that. And you can hear the cows going. They know I got food. So that's what I did today. Picked up a whole truckload of feed. Olaf right here, all excited. So this is what it's like living on today's homestead here in Arkansas. Just saw somebody else. Thank you, Andres. It's coming along little by little. And Carol, the place is looking good. You have been working hard. Oh, I hardly work. That's why it's not done. If I actually worked and did some stuff around here, it might get done. So you have a good night too, Sandra. Take it easy and hope everything's going good with the club. So I'm gonna check out, guys. I gotta get everybody fed. I've got to finish unloading this water and get some fencing done, so that way I can get closer to going back to Colorado to get some more stuff and get this homestead situated where I'm here and don't have to be doing this back and forth. And I'll have another video coming out for you guys tomorrow, and we'll go from there. I appreciate it, Carol. I will drive safe. Everybody have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys later.